What is up, guys? Welcome back. Today what we're going to be doing is replacing the brake light switch or brake pedal position sensor. The entire throttle body, including the throttle pedal position sensor, as well as chasing down numerous other sensors and error codes with this OBD2 reader on this 2008 Chevy Silverado 1500. But before I do any of that, I'm gonna redo the brakes on the front of this thing. I don't know if you saw my last video where I just did the front brakes on this, but if you did, you saw it didn't really go according to plan. I got the brake job done. They felt fine, but those calipers are just completely shot. I don't feel comfortable running them. And those brand new rotors were starting to already show some signs of grooving. So I just went ahead and pulled them all completely back off and went ahead and picked up some new calipers, new hardware, new lug nuts since I'm missing some, and then we can just jump straight into the stuff I was originally planning to do in this video. So I'm just gonna go ahead and give it one of these. Hopefully that gets us right. The next thing we're gonna jump into, also brake related. I'm having some issues with the brake light switch, aka the brake pedal position sensor. It is this guy right here. We'll have to disconnect this bolt here and this connector here. I'm pretty sure it just kind of slides out. Shouldn't be too bad. Let me try to show you what it's doing real quick. You hear it clicking? Which is fine, it's supposed to when you touch the pedal, but keep listening as I keep pressing the pedal. You hear it click off again. On, off, clicked again, and see, the problem with that is you have to have the brake pedal pushed down and that switch on in order to be able to turn the key to start it, in order to put it in gear. So when you have the brake pushed down and it's doing all that, you kind of struggle to do what you need it to do here. And not only that, but another big issue with that is the brake lights themselves are not staying on when they should be. You know, I'm on the highway, I hit the brakes and the lights start flashing, or they don't come on at all while I'm on the brakes. That's not safe, that's not good, that's not illegal. So I need to figure this thing out. Now, I have heard that you can sometimes get away with just cleaning the sensor off, so you don't have to replace it entirely. Save me some money. So I'm gonna try that first, and then if it still doesn't work, then I'm gonna go ahead and order a new one. I did order a new one, but I guess the wrong thing showed up. I can put a picture of it right here so you know what I'm talking about. Maybe you've experienced the same thing. It says it's the right part and it shows up, but it doesn't. And people in the forums are like, I've never seen that thing in my life. I have no idea what that is, but that's not the pedal position sensor. From what I can tell, maybe it's for the version with adjustable pedals, which this does not have. So we're just gonna try and clean this one, see if it'll work. If it doesn't, then I will order the correct part. So I think the hardest part is probably going to be finding you guys a good angle. I got these nifty little lights from Levi. Hopefully that should help out quite a bit. Alright, so first thing we gotta do is try and get this clip out. Now we gotta go for this 10mm bolt right here. It's all in a very awkward position up here, so bear with me. Got that out. Now we gotta try and get this clip right here off, which can be a little tricky as well. Oh. Well, It's off. Here is what this guy looks like. You can see why it's a bit of a pain to get off. Hopefully it's not too bad getting it back on there. Now this guy is supposed to just kind of come off, so. And there she is. Now I'm just going to clean this guy off. I like to use this stuff, not a sponsor. It's made specifically for electronic components and sensors. Works similarly to like brake clean and stuff, except obviously it's not going to damage plastics or gaskets or, you know, sensitive electronic components. You can literally just do the thing. Alright, I think that's probably about as good as we're gonna get with this thing. Hit our clip here a little bit. Now let's try and get this thing back on. Yeah, it just slips over this thing right here. Line these holes up. And then get that all back together. Maybe. There we go. That wasn't bad. Plug this back in. Now for our tricky little clip. No idea how is this supposed to go back on, especially without being able to get both my hands up here at the same time. Oh, okay. And our little 10mm bolt. We're pretty good and tight right there. Get these guys out of here. Yeah, man, these lights are pretty handy. Big shout out to Levi LCB Creations. Things are pretty neat. They also come with some other gels and stuff. You can plug them straight into a power bank like this, so they're portable. They came with tripods and stuff too. Adjustable. Got a little remote here. You can turn them down. You can turn them up. They get pretty bright. Pretty handy. Thanks, Levi. Let's see here. I hear it activate when I press. I don't hear it clicking and switching and going crazy. Activates when it should. Let's see how easy, if everything works right here. Clicked in. She's been sitting, so the battery's, you know how it is. I don't know, now that it's running, it's being a little weird again. Got a little excited a little too quick. I think we need a new sensor. It definitely does work better though. It's not nearly as bad as it was. Let me turn this thing off. Not nearly as bad as it was, but it still has the same issue.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
So I think I am better off just going ahead and ordering a new one. Like I said, they're not too expensive. I think they're like 30 bucks. And this is such a simple job, it didn't hurt to try, you know? So I just went ahead and went to the parts store and picked this up, and it is actually the correct part this time. So let me go throw this thing on here real quick. I originally wasn't even going to record any of this because it's the exact same process I already just showed you with the old one. But I wanted to show you how both lucky and unlucky I just got. And how careful you need to be with the little clip that goes on here. I just popped it off. It flew behind this electronics panel back here. Look at this. That very easily could have just gotten lost in the void. I had to pop this cover off to get up in there, and luckily I could see it up behind it and could barely get my fingers in there to grab it. So definitely be very careful because that thing will go flying. Alright, new sensor installed. Let's test it again. Hey. Nothing weird. Full range of motion without it kicking back on and off. Only right here where it's supposed to. Boom, that's one job done. Now that that's all taken care of, the next thing I'm going to worry about is actually the main issue with this truck, and that is the throttle body. So what this thing has been doing is running extremely rough. It'll run perfectly fine, but every once in a while it'll start running really rough. If I can find a clip, I'll insert it right here. And then the last time I drove it, it actually went into full limp mode and would not let me do anything at all. So I am going to be replacing that today. Got all the new stuff right here. Gonna go ahead and slap a new air filter in it as well. Here's the gasket and the new throttle body. Hopefully this one will actually last. We have actually replaced the throttle body on this thing at least 4 times already, and it just keeps going bad. Sometimes it lasts a couple months, sometimes it lasts a couple years, but it always goes bad. I know this is a common issue with these trucks, but that still seems a little excessive. I'm thinking there's something else causing that issue and causing the throttle body to keep going bad. And from what I understand, it's actually the sensor inside the throttle body, the throttle position sensor, that actually goes bad. After I replace it, I'm actually gonna go ahead and scan it again and see if it throws any new codes or see what still comes up. Because the last time I scanned it, it pulled up like 15 different codes, and they're all O2 sensors and a cylinder misfire. And I'm willing to bet that is because of the throttle body issue. So I'm gonna replace it, clear all the codes, and see what comes back, and maybe that'll give us some useful information. I'm also thinking about throwing on like a K&N filter or something right here and eliminating this box entirely, because the system inside right here seems very restrictive. I'm thinking if we help it breathe a little better, that might help some of our issues. I guess for now there ain't nothing to it but to do it. So I'm gonna start pulling stuff off and go from there. First thing I did was disconnect the battery cable, because you do not want any power running to sensors and stuff like the throttle body, since we're going to be messing with that.
Look at all the sports space. So we do aerobics in here. So many activities. Do step class.
It's making my head spin how many activities we can do.
See, it doesn't even look dirty or anything. A little bit, but nothing crazy. Not enough for this to go bad already. Now, as I'm looking in here, I've noticed there is a sensor inside of here, and there's a lot of oil, I'm assuming that's blow-by and stuff, built up inside the intake here. I'm wondering if that may be the true culprit here. I think a little bit of electronic cleaner might not be a bad idea. If so, I mean, it's already messed up, so. Let me grab some of this stuff here. Again, not a sponsor, just pretty handy. We'll see. Here is the old and the new side by side. This is the old one, this is the new one. This one is AC Delco, this one is GM. The only real difference I'm seeing is that GM badging. This one has this little thing here. I don't think it does anything, so. Other than that, they are basically identical. Hey, buddy. This usually does fix the problem, like I said, at least temporarily. So if I can just get it running long enough to finally get back onto this thing and get it good, I kind of want to get rid of that. But anyway, let's stick to the plan here. Now I'm just going to throw this thing on, and then I have to relearn the ECU to the throttle body. That process isn't too complicated. Hopefully that goes fine. The torque spec is 89 inch-pounds, which is like 7.4 foot-pounds. So they do not need much. Unfortunately, my cheap torque wrench, it does not go that low. So I just gotta go by feel here. I think that's about as far as I'm comfortable going with that. There is some very little tiny fragile sensitive situations going on in here. This piece here seems kind of restrictive. I kind of want to take it out, but again, I don't want these little guys to get messed up, so maybe it's best we leave this alone. Almost forgot this. Now that that is all done, back together, cleaned up, everything should be good. Now all we have to do is the relearn procedure, which is pretty simple. Idle the engine for 3 minutes, shut it off for 1 minute, idle it again for 3 more minutes, and then from there it should learn everything else as you drive. So let's do that, and then we can scan and clear some codes and see what's going on from there. It's been sitting a while, plus with that new throttle body on it, it's probably gonna have to struggle for a minute. Got my timer going here, let it run for 3 minutes, and shut it off. That's 3 minutes, let's shut it off. Starting my timer for 1 minute. There we go. And we'll go for another 3. There we go. It ran perfectly fine the entire time. Just gonna take it for a quick spin around the block and make sure everything is still good, and then we can clear those codes and see if any come back. Well, runs fine, but it won't move. Seems like the brakes are locked up. Might just be stuck since I haven't moved this thing since the last time I redid the brakes. Well, it's not the front. They spin freely. So I'm assuming the parking brake is stuck. Yeah, the parking brake is not releasing. The lever and the cables are, but the brake is staying stuck. These drum brakes back here are super old and rusty. They honestly need replaced as well. That's probably the problem. I'm hoping I can just kind of tap on them a little bit and see if they release. A lot of gunk falling out of them. Hoping I hear them release, make it obvious, but I normally don't get that lucky. Oh, the tone of that one changed. Kind of seems like it freed up. While I was tapping on it with the hammer, it went from being pretty solid to seeming like it opened up a little bit. So, all right, let's see if that did anything at all. Woo, there we go. Well, let's make sure nothing broke. Parking brake works. Alright, we're good. Yeah, they were just stuck. So probably need to replace them soon as well. Alright, back to the original plan. Test drive. Make sure this thing doesn't start running rough again like it did just a little bit ago. This is also the first drive on the new brake calipers, so I want to keep an eye on those as well. Just got back. Runs great. Just the one, well actually technically two rough idle incidents on startup. I am hoping that is just it learning the new throttle body. Like I said, other than that, it runs way better than it did before. Brakes don't feel great though. I'm wondering if it is just the fact that the rear drums are so bad that they're just doing absolutely nothing, or if maybe I just need to bleed them a little more. Let's plug this guy in and see what's up. Okay, only 7 came back. Better than 15. Gonna have to remember all these, see what they're for. Heater control circuit, bank 2, sensor 1. Okay. That could be part of our running rough. That's the same one as earlier. That one too. Multiple cylinder misfire. Evap again. So let me see if I can clear all these and then see if any of these come back. I don't know what any of this means. Instead of hitting read DTC on this, that does just pull your codes up and show them to you. I'm actually going to hit enter on OBD2 till it pulls this up, and then hit enter again for ECU, and then from here you can read the codes again and have them list them off, or you can do a few different tests and things. So what I'm just going to do is erase codes. Camera died on me. But yeah, that's all I had to do was push enter on clear codes, and we are to this point. Let me see if I can just read them again straight off the rip. We had 2 come back. Evap. Evap. Same code. So what I'm going to do here, X out of everything entirely, unplug it, ignition off, start this thing up again. Our check engine light is still on. Now with it running, plug back in here. Evap, heater control circuit, bank 2, sensor 1, and evap again. I want it to sort of start running rough while I'm plugged into it and see if I can figure that out. This is the live data. I honestly don't even really know what I'm looking at here, so I don't know if any of this looks good or bad. So if any of this stands out to you guys, let me know in the comments. I would appreciate it. I should probably know a little bit more about this stuff. Everything seems good here. Okay, so at least we know that functions. Got a lot of information. It'd be cool if I knew what any of it meant. Gonna go ahead and back out of here. So I think we're about done with this for now. Okay, so after a few days of driving it to and from work, the rough idling and what I'm assuming is the misfiring issue is still occurring. It is not nearly as bad. Obviously, it's not going into limp mode and stuff constantly anymore. So I'm gonna plug it back in and see if any codes came back. Well, see which codes came back. Well, we have 9 now. That one was already here. That's new. But what I believe that one is, it does this thing where right when you turn it on, it says the engine is hot and the AC is being turned off. So I knew that was an issue. I didn't know if it was the thermostat itself or the temperature sensor involved with that, because I've heard that both of those go out pretty commonly on this as well. Heater circuit, cylinder misfire, evap, heater control. Okay, so pretty much all the same things we knew about already. So that pretty much confirms my suspicions that the throttle body itself is not causing the issues. It seems like we kind of just have to chase down a bunch of sensors, which is annoying, but could be worse. I don't even know where to start with that. I guess I'm going to look up some of these codes and figure out which sensors they specifically relate to and see how expensive they are. Hopefully they're also not too hard to get to and remove, replace, clean, whatever it is I gotta do. Even if it's cheap, if it takes me 3 days to do it, that still ain't really cheap when it comes to the price of time. Let me know if that is something you guys are even interested in seeing. I'm kind of on the fence about even recording any of that. It seems kind of boring. It's something I kind of just want to get done in the background. Not the most exciting thing in the world to do or watch. So if that is something that you guys want to see, if you're interested in this Silverado saga, let me know in the comments. I'll go ahead and make a video of it. And to be honest, I'm kind of beyond ready to start moving on this thing. It has just been sitting. I haven't even started it in at least 6 months. And that's not good. I need to start it, see if it will start. I may need to jump it or throw the new battery in it, pull it out, just run it for a little bit. Maybe take it around the block, get some of that oil pumping, and I'll be able to find where it's actually coming from a little easier. I actually got some of this stuff from a buddy of mine as well. So I think I can just dump this into the oil before I take it around the block. And then when I pull it back in here and start tearing it apart, I can just shine a black light on everything and I should see that stuff glowing and it'll tell me, you know, where that leak is actually coming from. And with that, I think I'm going to end this one here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help the algorithm. Helps me tremendously. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.